Hello, and welcome to Virtual Investor Conferences. My name is Matt Lateplo, and on behalf of OTC Markets, we're very pleased you have joined us for our next live presentation from Fendx Technologies, Inc., a nanotechnology company focused on reducing the spread of pathogens. Please note you can submit questions in the box to the left of the slides. You can also view a company's availability for one-on-one meetings through the Schedule Meetings tab found on the conference platform. At this point, I am very pleased to welcome Carolyn Myers, President, CEO, and Director of Fendx Technologies, Inc., which trades on the OTCQB venture market under the symbol FDXTF and on the CSE under the symbol FNDX. Welcome, Carolyn.
Thank you, Matt. And good morning, everybody. It's really a pleasure to be here and have the opportunity to present Fendx to all of you. As Matt mentioned, I'm the CEO and president of Fendx Technologies, Inc. Just a little bit about myself before we get started. I've been the CEO of Fendx since its incorporation back in 2020. Prior to that, I held very senior level positions in large cap pharmaceutical companies in the United States in roles of commercialization as well as business development. In my tenure, I've launched 25 plus products in the US as well as globally. And as a business development expert, have done more than 50 M&A licensing transactions and deals in my tenure as well. I've also had the opportunity to be the president of two different pharmaceutical companies, one a development company, the other one was a revenue generating company. And while president of that particular organization, I was able to grow revenue and EBITDA by 25 plus percent year over year while I was there. So I have a very, very strong track record in bringing products to market, turning companies around, as well as strategic vision to build, to start companies as well as build them, which is what I've been doing with Fendx for the past 3 years. So let me tell you a little bit about Fendx. First of all, here's our forward-looking statement for everybody. We are a nanotechnology company that's focused on reducing the spread of pathogens to keep surfaces safe from contamination. We're developing film and spray nanotechnologies from technology that we licensed from McMaster University out of Hamilton, Ontario, back in early 2021. What they've been able to show was that with their films, they can show us over 99% instant reduction in adhesion of COVID-19 like viruses as well as bacteria to their surface. And as a consequence of that, because they can't adhere, they can't be transmitted. And the same has been shown for the spray formulation for bacteria as well as for sprays. And why are we interested in this type of technology and protecting high-touch surfaces? Well, as you may know, high-touch surfaces are a vehicle for transmission of potentially lethal pathogen infections. And in the United States alone, there on average are over 99,000 people that actually can die from acquiring one of these infections when they're in a healthcare setting. And in the US as well, it costs a significant amount of money on the medical as well as the socioeconomic side to maintain the transmission or lower the transmission levels as well as deal with these infections. You can see here that we're looking at on average about $28.4 billion annually spent in the U.S. just to manage the transmission and reduce the infection rates as well as manage the infections and keep people alive. And also, globally, this is a real focus of the WHO in the United States with the CDC, who are actively seeking innovative solutions to contribute to reducing the global spread of these potentially lethal infections. And while I mentioned the healthcare setting, these types of bacteria and viruses also exist outside of the healthcare setting on other high-touch, high-traffic surfaces. We are focused on bringing our products to market to in the healthcare sector, but we're also potentially interested in looking at sectors that are outside of healthcare that truly are prone to contamination as well. And this just gives you some examples of what they are: transportation, sports, entertainment. Schools is a big one, and then obviously other high traffic locations. And how does this all come to be? These transmission of bacteria or pathogens that are on high touch surfaces, essentially, and this is just a schematic illustration. Essentially, somebody has contamination on their hands. They touch a surface. The contamination then resides on the surface. It proliferates, and then somebody else that touches that surface can be contaminated by it. They touch their eyes, they touch their nose, they put their fingers in their mouth, whatever the case may be, and then they can acquire the infection. How our product works is you have a contaminated hand, but in this case, the doorknob is covered with the nanotechnology, and number one, the contamination doesn't stick to the nanotechnology, and therefore is not transmitted to another person. And this is how we reduce the transmission of these potentially lethal pathogens. So our first product in development is called Repel Wrap Film. And you can see on the right a schematic of essentially how this film is created. It's really the deposition of a number of different chemicals onto the equivalent of saran wrap. So you take saran wrap and then you start layering on these different chemicals, and then to make the surfaces essentially repellent to prevent adherence, you have to thermally shrink those films. And when you shrink them, basically they become a film that then you can apply to a surface, either using an adhesive, or you can wrap it around surfaces through heat shrinking to protect those surfaces. As it relates to Repel Wrap Film, we have a few patent families that are, one of them is already in prosecution around the world, and the other two are PTC applications. And as we move forward, we continue to build on our patent portfolio. So Repel Wrap Film specifically has been proven by McMaster to really stop the spread of pathogens. As I mentioned earlier, they've shown an effectiveness in terms of reducing the adhesion of both bacteria and COVID-like 19 viruses on the surface. And the whole concept is because they can't stick to the surfaces, they can't proliferate, and because they can't stick and proliferate, that's what leads to them not being able to be transmitted. And in addition to that, because these are non-stick surfaces, if you have E. coli on your finger, and as illustrated on the top right here, and you touch the surface, the bacteria stay on your fingers as opposed to getting transferred to the surface. In addition, the McMaster has also shown that these surfaces also repel or prevent blood from sticking, and therefore prevent the proliferation of blood clots. We've shown durability, stability. They're very durable surfaces as well, and can last a number of months. We have 3 to 6 months stability data or durability data, and the films essentially are the equivalent as the way they were when they were originally made. Repel Wrap Film is currently with our manufacturer, so we consider this an important milestone for us, that we've actually taken the lab formula from McMaster and we've been able to transfer it to our manufacturer, Dunmore, who is a globally recognized film manufacturer. And they have completed a first phase in the development work that we are doing with them to actually show that they can adapt the lab formulation from McMaster to their commercial lines. And this now allows them to do some automated small runs on their commercial lines, which is imminent, and it should be happening in the very near future. Through this work, we'll also get a better sense of our cost of goods and as it relates to manufacturing of these films. And in addition, we will, if we're successful in testing, and we're planning to do real world testing as well as lab testing of these surfaces to make sure that they maintain the same repelling and stability properties, then we'll be on track to start assessing doing commercial production of Repel Wrap film. Just very quickly, you might say, are there other products out there? Obviously, there are that deal with contamination to keep surfaces safe. Liquids, obviously, the disinfectants, we know about them, Lysol, Microban, etc. And then there are other metal coatings out there. Repel Wrap film, in our opinion, is superior to all of those because it repels, so nothing can stick, and therefore it can't be transferred. In addition, it is effective immediately because nothing can stick to the surface. It provides 24/7 protection for long periods of time. And in addition, it does not promote bacterial resistance, whereas some of the other products out there have the potential to do that. It's a big market, so we believe we have a significant opportunity with our nanotechnology if we're successful in being able to bring products to market. As you can see, in 2025, it's anticipated that the antimicrobial market will be potentially $7.6 billion. And over here, you can see that on the left, that essentially 38% of that is contributed by healthcare. So we believe we've got an opportunity here, and we're in the right space. Just as it relates to our pipeline and our growth strategy, Repel Wrap film, again, is our lead product. We are looking at line extensions to that. For example, films that both repel and kill, as opposed to just repel. In addition, we're looking at expanding beyond films to apply our nanotechnology to other applications. And I'll talk in a second about catheters because that's one of the projects we're working on. And again, we are also advancing our spray technology, which we licensed from McMaster a few months ago. In addition to that, we're looking at a growth strategy to build our portfolio, not just organically, but through partnerships as well as licensing M&A opportunities to expand under our umbrella of infectious disease control. We've had a number of companies approach us interested in partnering with us to either coat their products or work with us to develop new products. So we are in the process of assessing all of those, and moving forward, we'll determine if any of them are worth pursuing, and obviously we will then pursue them. In addition, we plan to launch in Canada first, and then we plan to, if successful with our products, move into the United States as well as beyond North America. Just a little bit about the catheter project. Again, this is from McMaster. They did some very early research, which is published, by the way, that shows that it significantly high a reduction in adherence of certain bacteria. These are both pathogens, as you might be aware, as well as a significant reduction in blood being able to stick to the surfaces. These are both important because what this potentially means is that you're not going to get biofilm formation, or you're not going to get blood clotting, which are two of the culprits that are known to occlude catheters. And we're going to be starting research in the very near future to advance this technology to see if we can actually demonstrate that we can reduce blood clot formation, reduce biofilm formation, and as a consequence, reduce the occluding rate of these catheters. And you may know that long-term indwelling catheters are by far the worst as it relates to occlusion. And a significant amount of money is spent annually just to manage occlusions associated with these catheters. We believe that there's an opportunity here if we can develop something that can reduce the potential occlusion rates of these long indwelling catheters. In addition, the spray, as I mentioned, we recently licensed it from McMaster. Again, it's showing great efficacy in terms of reducing adhesion of pathogenic organisms, as well as COVID-19. In addition to that, not only does this repel, as does the film, it also kills. So if there's any residual bacteria or viruses on the surface, which obviously would be minimal given the effectiveness of the repelling rate, but if there is, then there's the potential to kill those bugs as well. The reason I really like the spray technology is because in addition to it being a spray, it will ease potentially the application versus a film on certain shapes or high surface products. But in addition to that, it has the potential to increase the market applications even beyond high touch surfaces. So, and also we licensed a patent. It's a U.S. provisional patent, so another patent to add to our growing portfolio. We plan to use an operating model that's very cost effective. We're not going to commercialize or manufacture these products ourselves and expend our finances to build manufacturing facilities or build marketing and sales forces. We plan to do this through third-party partners. And again, Dunmore is our first partner who's doing our initial scale-up work on Repel Wrap. And with the spray, as well as with the continued advancement of Repel Wrap, we will bring on additional manufacturing partners to work on those products. And when the time is appropriate, which we anticipate will be later this year, we will be bringing on distributors who will sell our product initially in Canada. As I mentioned, we're going to start in Canada. Within the healthcare sector, as well as in other applications that we decide to pursue. Very quickly, these are what we've achieved. As Matt mentioned, we're on the CSE. We're also on the OTCQB, which is why we're here. We also are on the Frankfurt Stock Exchange. We're just waiting for DTC approval, which should be any time now. This just gives you a sense of the rest of it of our plans as we move forward into 2024. We anticipate that if we can do the initial scale-up work on Dunmore's commercial machinery, that we'll be able to move into commercial manufacturing later this year, early next year, with the idea of potentially having a product available for commercialization maybe in mid-2024. And the interesting thing about Canada is that we do not require regulatory approval of our product to bring it to market. So if we're successful in getting to the commercial phase, then we're comfortable with the product, we can bring it to the market. I have a great team. I've talked a little bit about myself. Andrea Mulder is my COO. She's a great operator. She has tremendous track record in launching products as well. And it's great to have her on board. Rose has significant experience in the capital markets, in finance, has been a CFO for a number of years, and has been instrumental in helping us move Fendx forward to become a listed company. I have a great board. They have a lot of experience in the capital markets arena, as well as in compliance, regulatory compliance, etc. Stephen is our audit chair, a tremendous experience on the finance side. So I have a really great team and we're well positioned to move us forward as we advance our technology. And last, I just want to close with our share structure. I consider we have a very tight cap table. Currently, we have 52 million and change common shares. And Interestingly, around 68% of those are either subject to escrow or pooling restrictions, which we're pretty proud of, because that means that there's a lot of control over the liquidity in the stock at this point, and those are early investors that are in for the long term. So we're very excited as to where we are with the company and where we're going. And with that, I want to thank you, and I will take questions. Okay, well, the first question is, do we own the IP or the patents? We do not own them, but we have worldwide exclusive license to the patents for a period of 20 years. So we don't own them at this point. But the thing to note is that as we move forward and we fund research to advance our products, and it is funded exclusively by Fendx, all of the future IP will be owned by Fendx. And we're very focused on continuing to develop innovation around our technology. And so we anticipate that we will continue to build a very robust patent portfolio, and in the future, those patents will be owned by Fendx. The next one, have you launched Repel Wrap? And if not, when? What is your go-to-market strategy and sales resources channels? I think I might have mentioned this in my presentation, but very quickly, we have not launched Repel Wrap. It is with our manufacturer who we have a development agreement with to do the initial scale-up work. And as I said, they successfully adapted the formulation to their commercial lines. And so they're going to start doing small runs on their commercial lines in the near future. And it's through that trialing that we will determine if we can then go to the next step, which is to commercial manufacturing. If we do, then we will have to sign a manufacturing agreement to create commercial product and finished goods. So, that's the next step. As it relates to the going to market, as I had mentioned, we're very much focused on identifying manufacturers as well as third-party distributors to produce our products as well as bring them to market, because we do want to be capital conscious and focus our capital on developing our products and building the company to bring more products to market under the umbrella of infectious disease control. Do you need U.S. regulatory to bring the solutions to the U.S. market? We are in the process of reviewing that now. We do not believe that this requires FDA device clearance. At least Repel Wrap film does not. We are in the process of looking at this from the EPA standpoint, because those are the two channels that we need to look at. We do not believe that any of the components of our film will fall under the Pest Control Act, but we are in the process of confirming that. The thing that you need to know about our films is it's in the manufacturing process where all of these ingredients get mixed, and then when the product is final, it's actually, the surfaces are very inert. Again, they do not kill per se. They at least, first of all, let's talk about Repel Wrap film. It does not kill, it just prevents adhesion. As it relates to the spray formulation, there may be additional regulatory requirements there. We're not certain yet, but we're investigating that, because it will have that additional kill aspect to it for any residual bugs. But our first product, we believe it does not really require regulatory or EPA approval. It certainly doesn't in Canada. That's why I say we'll be able to bring it to market when we're comfortable that we have a product that can meet the specifications necessary to provide, the effective repelling properties. Can you discuss the capital position and milestones for the next 12 months? So as of the end of March 31st, we had $2.6 million in cash. Our burn rate is about 750, 800K at the time. So we have significant money to get us through the first year. We have increased our quarterly spend or run rate. It's probably not 750, 800, but more around 900. But we believe we're in a good position from a capital standpoint because we have a number of warrants totaling approximately $4 million that we can sell, and that will infuse the company with additional funds if needed. In addition, at some point towards the end of the year, or perhaps early next year, we will be looking at doing capital raise as we grow our business and move Repel Wrap film forward to more commercialization, advance our spray technology, as well as the catheter project. Hang on, I'm just getting to that. What is the goal with the recent IPI agreement with Spotlight Media? Spotlight Media, we have a few IR companies that we're working with that are building awareness for us. So the Spotlight is one that we just recently brought on board to provide us with an infusion of newsletters and tweets, etc., to help us build awareness within their newsletters, etc., to get to their followers. So what we're trying to do is, we don't want to spend all of our money on the IR front or on marketing, but we do know that we need to build awareness of Fendx because we're a newly listed company, and so we're very much bringing on board companies that we believe have a following that it would be appropriate for us to build awareness with. So that's the reason for bringing on Spotlight. Can your solutions the spread of MRSA? Well, can your solutions thwart the spread of MRSA infections? Well, we have tested MRSA on the films and the sprays, and as I say, it shows significant reduction in adhesion, greater than 99%. We believe that we can contribute to reducing the spread of pathogens like MRSA, C. difficile, and potentially some other lethal pathogens that are spread via surfaces. And I think that those are all the questions. Thank you. I don't see any other questions, so thank you very much. I appreciate your attention and your time, and I look forward to continuing to present on Fendx and our progress as we move forward with our technology. So thank you very much.